Ladies and gentlemen, it gives us great pleasure here at Harrison Company to bring him on here now, Mr. Vic Damone, right here. Whoa. Oh, fantastic. All right. Just have a seat right here.
What a great audience.
Boy, you're telling me. This was fantastic.
We got to get them over to the showboat.
Oh, yeah. Well, they want to hear you sing, and they were wanting you to sing today, and I said, well, we're not prepared. We left the orchestra behind and all that, but you would probably do a little singing for them at the Showboat Dinner Theater.
Oh, please, yes. Gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh.
There's so many, look at how beautiful they are.
Oh, I know. And these are, you got a ton of fans out here, to say the least. You know, I'm a big fan of yours from way back. I mean, playing your songs on the radio.
When
well,
you say
not
way
too far
back,
back.
how far back?
Oh, at least 3-4 years, you know, if not more, maybe 5 or 6. But, and having played your songs on the radio for years, too.
That's right, you were a disc jockey.
Yeah, but I was reading your bio, and I wasn't aware of this. You were always in the right place at the right time, it seems, like discovered by Perry Como, and how did that come about?
Well, I was an usher at the Paramount Theater, and he's a wonderful man. He's just, in fact, he's such a nice fellow. I named my son after him.
Yeah, and he's your son's godfather, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was working, and I was taking him up to his dressing room on the 5th floor in the elevator. And he was always so kind, and he was always so sweet and friendly. And I said, Mr. Como, I wonder if you would listen to me sing. And he said, what? I said, well, I'm taking singing lessons, and we really can't afford it. It costs $1 a week.
Oh.
And we really couldn't afford it. My father was very ill, and that's the reason I was working, because I wanted to bring in some money. And so he said, go ahead and sing. I said, here? He said, yeah, go ahead.
This is in the elevator?
In the elevator. So I stopped the elevator, and I started singing. And I sang 4 bars, and I stopped, and he said, go on, go on. So I sang another 4 bars, and I stopped again. He said, would you finish it? so I finished it, and I finished the song, and he said, oh, yeah. He said, you've got to sing. He said, yes, no, don't stop the singing lessons. You're wonderful. And he was the one that gave me the incentive. And so I did. And today I'm, who am I?
You've done fairly well. Well, Mr. Como, it's such a pleasure having you here. No, but then later on, that must have been a real hoot for him when he found out that, when you related the elevator experience to him.
Oh, sure. He always remembered me.
Yeah.
And to this day, we have buddies. He's just a wonderful fella, and he lives in Jupiter, Florida. And I may be moving to Florida.
Oh, I hope so. I know a lot of people out here that would go over and help you vacate a house next door if you just go in and move these folks out if you were looking for the right kind of
great. These are my people here.
There's one other time I was reading in the bio that you were performing, and it was on the Arthur Godfrey, I think the Talent Scout show.
Right.
And backstage was Milton Berle then, and he just happened to be on the scene at that time.
He happened to be passing by. He was very friendly with Arthur Godfrey, and while we were doing a dress rehearsal, and while he was talking to Mr. Godfrey, I was singing. In fact, the song I sang was Prisoner of Love. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So, and he was, I'm singing my heart out, and I'm singing there, and he was listening. And after the rehearsal, he came to me, and he said, hey, kid, he said, I tell you what, he said, if you win tonight, he said, I'm going to help you with your career.
Ooh.
So I said, well, gee, Mr. Berle, I'll try my hardest. He said, but you got to win. I said, okay. So that night I sang my heart out, and everything worked out fine.
And he
got me, not only did he get me my agent, he got me my first job at a club called La Martinique on 57th Street in New York, and he was there, and he introduced me. He worked the lights, he worked the sound. He was wonderful. So Milton Berle was very instrumental in getting me started, actually getting started in show business.
And at that point, of course, you were discovered to Martinique, and the rest is history.
Then I recorded a song called "I Have But One Heart."
Yeah.
On Mercury. They're not old enough to remember that.
Yeah, that.
But yeah, I recorded that, and I was lucky. It was a hit record, and then the second record was a good one, and so that was the beginning of my career.
And we're going to talk more about his career and more with Mr. Vic Damone, give the folks in the audience a chance, too, to have some conversation with him in a moment on Harrison Company. All right. Yeah. Come on.
Thank you.
You wouldn't believe it. While you were away, it was incredible. His seat collapsed, broke, and fell. He fell over against me, broke my chair. It's been incredible. No, we decided just to...
we wanted to get closer to
a little more
you.
intimate, yeah. Because some folks out here have some questions they want to ask, and our first one is right back there.
Vic, I'm going to get real personal.
Wait a minute. How personal?
Well, you're talking about the good old days when you were with Arthur Godfrey. I'd like to know how old you are, if you'd like to tell
He
us.
doesn't want to tell us that.
Why? I'm 65. I'll be... I'll be 66 June the 12th. But I'll tell you, I feel great. I work out every day, and I play golf an awful lot. I cook for myself most of the time. I love good old Italian,
Oh, well.
what my mother taught me.
Hey, how old are you, ma'am? Okay, all right. There
You
we
my
go.
age? How old? Are you kidding? Take a bow. Get up.
Yeah.
Look at this lady. Come on. Look at how she looks fantastic.
Oh, I know.
You were lucky to have Perry Como discover you.
Yeah.
And I was wondering who else was fortunate enough to have had the opportunity for you to discover.
People who I've discovered?
Right.
Joey Bishop.
Oh, really?
I gave Joey his first job. Many people during,
You gave John Williams a little help, apparently, too.
Johnny Mandel was one of the first. I was one of the first people Johnny Mandel ever wrote arrangements for. Who wrote? Then from there he got to write songs like "The Shadow of Your Smile." Johnny Mandel. I mean, there's people all through my career that I've tried to help. You can do just so much. But I'll think of it. Let me think some more. I'm sure there are other people that we've gone. Yeah, we have a question there.
Vic, I'd like to ask you what was the largest crowd that you ever performed before, and also what was your lowest golf score? I'm a golfer myself.
Now that's getting personal.
No, that's okay. Let's see. Well, I guess the biggest crowds I've ever sung for was when I went over to Vietnam and with Bob Hope, and we did shows in 1966, and we did it for thousands and thousands of soldiers that were out there.
I was one of those, by the way, one time at Benoit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, sure was.
And now we're really going to get to the... I don't know, shall I tell them the truth? I should. I always tell the truth. So it was, I shot a 69. And it was during a match. I was really excited about it because I was having a big money match, a lot of money. And the last 4 holes, I shot birdie, 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 birdie. And the guy called me a golf hustler.
Boy, the ultimate supreme compliment.
Oh, right. No, but a 69, that's the best I ever shot. I'm sorry?
18 holes, yeah.
Did you hear what he
He
said?
says 9 holes.
9 holes.
Look at that. The old thing. Well, how did you do in a second? Now, we got time for one more here, sir. You're going to have our finale.
Vic, I
Yeah.
just want to say thank you for a wonderful evening in Buffalo, New York, at Frank and Teresa's Anchor Bar.
Yeah, Frank.
I just got married, and
Aren't you sweet?
we were in there, and you came in after a show at the Shays Buffalo,
Yeah.
and you made our night.
Aren't
Thank
you
you.
nice? I got to shake
This
it.
is famous place. Well, wow, we got a whole lot of shaking going on. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more in a moment on Harrison Company. Don't go away.
Imagine how surprised she's bound to be. She loves me.